Today is a what sold video, but not an ordinary what sold video. I'm going to challenge you. This is an exercise to see what you think my item sold for on eBay. Hi everyone, I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue. Welcome to my channel. As I said, this video is about pricing our items to sell on eBay. And I like to price based upon perceived value. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then I have a challenge for you. I'm going to show you my sold items on eBay. And I'm going to give you options for you to use your perception or perceived value of what my items are worth. And guess quickly what range you think they sold in. I think you'll find this exercise hopefully quite fun. And if you like it, leave me a comment below. If you don't like it, leave me a comment below. Because if I get enough likes, I'll do this again, because my hope is to challenge you to look at things differently when you go out shopping for items to resell on eBay. You know, I believe that simple sells for good profit. I show it over and over in my items that I find to resell. Simple things that many people pass by, other resellers pass by, I pick up and I think I make pretty decent profit. So first, let's talk about perceived value and where my mindset is when it comes to pricing my items, and then show you my solds. Keep watching. To price or not to price? Now that's not the question. It's how to price. How to price your items for sale on eBay. You pay a certain amount for it. Let's say you paid $1 or $2 or $3. It really doesn't matter. Do you price your items based upon what you think is reasonable, guilt-free pricing? Pricing that people would never accuse you of gouging anyone? Like you paid $3 for it and you sell it for $9 or $10? Or do you price based upon a certain markup that you want to make on each item? Let's say you paid $3 and you want to make $10 on everything you make, so you price it at $12.95. Or do you, like me, price based upon eBay sold comps plus perceived value? Yes, that's how I price my items. I do look at eBay comps. I do check the search engines to see what things are listed for. I look at sold items and I look at active items. And I take all that information, even the information that says there's nothing else out there like it, and I price my items based upon perceived value. What is perceived value, you ask, right? I think I heard you ask that. Perceived value is the shopper's or the buyer's viewpoint of what they think an item is worth. Not really mine. I can put any price on it, but really what makes it sell is what a buyer is willing to pay, and or maybe what I'm willing to accept. You see, there will always be people out there with more money than what I have. And there will always be things out there on eBay that are rare and hard to find. And when you have that combination of they've got the money and I've got the item, then I price my item at what I consider a perceived value. How do I arrive at that price? Again, I do my research and I put a price on it with make offer. That is the key, with make offer, and I see what kind of offers I get. But the great thing is many items sell for full price. Full price, no offer, cha-ching, and I love that. Don't you? A buyer's perception of what something is worth also includes accessibility, availability, how much they want it, and how much money they have in their pocketbook. Basically, perceived value encompasses a lot of different things from a buyer's viewpoint. I can't get into their head, and they can't get into mine, but they most certainly can make an offer or buy it at full price. In this 15 to 20 minute video, I think you will learn so much if you follow it all the way through. You will be shown what has sold in my store. You will be shown for options, and then you choose quickly in your mind what price range you think the item sold for. And then I show you what it actually sold for. Plus shipping, of course. You might guess high, you might guess low, you might be right on target. But my goal in this is for you to look at things differently when you're out shopping for things to resell. I just bet you pass a lot of things by, simple things that you pass by that you could make some decent profit on. For the items I'm going to show you, assume that I paid $1 to $3 unless I say otherwise. Are you ready? get set, go. This is a very small 3.5-inch creamer by G.F. Cole Pottery from North Carolina. Do you think it sold for A, under $10, or B, C, D, E, or F? What's your guess? It actually sold for $24.95 plus shipping. How did you do? It will go a little bit faster now. This sells for 2 8-inch England Churchill pink and red willow is the pattern salad plates, so they're pretty small. What do you think they sold for? They sold for $34.95 plus shipping. This is a whistle, a vintage Penman boatswain's caw pipe, bosun whistle, chrome plated. I know, sounds crazy, right? What do you think it sold for? It sold for $30 plus shipping. This is brand new, never opened, Creative Memories large power sort box, new sailed as said, for photo storage. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $59.98 plus shipping. This is an antique, quite rusty wire egg basket. Primitive is one of the keywords, and it does fold up. Found it at an estate sale. What do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.99 plus shipping. This is a new unused felt kit to make an angel tree topper by Busilla. It's 11 inches high. What do you think it sold for? Sold for $49.95 plus shipping. This is a set of creamer and sugar, vintage Japan enamelware in a bright yellow with black trim. What do you think it sold for? What's your guess? It sold for $29.95 plus shipping. Sweeper bags, got them at the Goodwill, 12-count Gary bags, vacuum bags. What do you think they sold for? They sold for $35 plus shipping. Here's a Farberware stainless steel teapot, definitely used, it's vintage. How much do you think it sold for? Sold for $29.95 plus shipping. This is a 4-piece set of Kurt Adler Wizard of Oz Christmas ornaments. Very small and made from plastic. How much do you think they sold for? They sold for $29.95 plus shipping. These are little Joseph Originals first birthday little ceramic girls or porcelain. Definitely vintage. How much do you think they sold for? They sold for $23 plus shipping. How about these oval platters by Taylor Smith? The pattern is Reveille and featuring roosters. And they sold for $39.95 plus shipping. This is a garage sale find, a small brass candlestick candle holder, a desk lamp. As is, as you see it, no lampshade. What do you think it sold for? It sold for $25 plus shipping. Excuse my photo, I was trying to be creative. These 2 metal pine cone tapered candle holders. I did pay a little more for these. I believe they were $5 for the pair. What do you think they sold for? They sold for $20 plus shipping. Pecan pie, anyone? Found this Southern pecan pie recipe pie plate made in Japan. Found it at the Goodwill. I believe I paid about $3.99. What do you think someone was willing to pay? It sold for $69.95 plus shipping. This is a small vintage plastic 1960s German Lux Messbecher, if I'm saying that right, wet dry measuring cup. Found it at the Restore. What do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.95 plus shipping. This is a live edge, yes, a live edge log slice nut bowl, and we did add the utensils to it. It's only 6 1/4 inches in diameter. How much do you think it sold for? $24.95 plus shipping. I love this bright green tiki mug, Trader Vic's Green Seahorse, made in Hawaii. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $29.95 plus shipping. Are you surprised? This listing is actually for 3 of these dinner plates. This is Lennox, Mosaico d'Italia, Maranella, excuse my Italian, designed by Chuck Fisher. These are dinner plates, so they're quite large, and it's for a lot of 3. And I only paid $1 per plate at a garage sale. What do you think they sold for? They sold for $71.91 plus shipping. This is a cute llama mug. It's redware, clay pottery. It's pretty tall, 5 7/8. How much do you think it sold for? It Sold for $24.97 plus shipping. You may have heard about this in one of my prior videos. This is a Joy Bright new old stock 3-tier pyramid nativity set. It's a windmill. It's absolutely unused, founded at a Salvation Army, and it sold for, what do you think? It sold for $99.95 plus shipping. This is a Monet necklace. It's a lariat. It doesn't have a clasp, it just wraps around. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $30 plus shipping. Found this gold lion head shelf sconce at the local Reseller. It's very heavy. Shipping actually was higher than what you see there. It's only 6¼ inches high. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. Another tea kettle. This one is made in Korea. Paul Revere. It's a whistling tea kettle. Has a Centennial logo on it, 1892 to 1992. How much do you think a buyer paid for it? I did pay $5 for it. Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. This is a dollar item from a garage sale. This vintage Japan pink small sewing basket, very small, has a liner in it too. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. Do you love to cook? This is a 1956 Betty Crocker's Picture Cookbook, 2nd edition, 2nd printing, hardcover. I remember paying $1 at a garage sale. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $55 plus shipping. Yes, I sell hats. This is a 90s Florida Marlins Major League Baseball hat. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. I rarely pay more than $1 for a hat. This is a silver-plated, made in Sheffield, England, little clamshell-shaped butter dish with a glass liner, and it comes with a knife. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.97 plus shipping. This sale was for a 5-piece lot of Martha Stewart dinner plates. Now I paid about $5 for the plates and the cups. How much do you think the plates only sold for? The plates sold for $29.95 plus shipping. This is an olive wood hand-carved figure, a religious figure. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $22 plus shipping. This is a garage sale find, a set of 2 Wooford glass-blowing lamps, oil lamps. They're only 9 inches high. How much do you think the 2 of them sold for? They sold for $59.95 plus shipping. A set of 2 onyx bookends. How much do you think they sold for? And I have to tell you, this shipping is not correct. The shipping was a lot higher. This shows the shipping as if I bought it. They sold for $25 plus shipping. I bought a lot of Boy Scout memorabilia. This is a size XL green wool beret with a blue brush emblem. Sold as is. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.98 plus shipping. Did you guess right? This is an 8-piece lot of vintage Hochoi Mexican folk art ornaments, handmade. How much do you think they sold for? They sold for $21 plus shipping. Miniatures. This is an 11-piece miniature set, a little wood hutch with little dollhouse accessories as you see here. How much do you think they sold for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. Another garage sale find, a set of 2 vintage wall, a filigree design. These are not candle holders, just a filigree, made by Frankfurt, and they're 16 inches high. What did they sell for? They sold for $28 plus shipping. This is a small Royal Norfolk jam mustard jar with a silver-plated lid from Staffordshire, England. What did it sell for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. This is a vintage Valentine's box signed in 1981. It includes the original box. It is empty, no candy. How much do you think a buyer paid? It sold for $22 plus shipping. This is a vintage wood pedestal fruit bowl. Wasn't in the greatest shape. It's 7.5 inches high. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $20 plus shipping. This is a dessert plate made by Adams Real English Scenic. It's ironstone, features a castle and horses. How much do you think it sold for? I rarely pay more than $1 for a plate at a garage sale. It sold for $20 plus shipping. This is a Goodwill find, Ovo Majolica, Portugal, made in Portugal, shrimp lobster bait casserole dish. It's really not very big, 4 3/4 inches high. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.95 plus shipping. These are vintage Sirocco wall plaques, which is basically a hard plastic from the 1960s in blue and green. I rarely pay more than $3 for these sets. How much do you think they sold for? They sold for $24.95 plus shipping. These are two vintage Home Interiors clear pillar candle holders. Found them at the Restore. How much do you think they sold for? They sold for $20 plus shipping. This is a 14.5-inch doll-size wood chair with a spindle back, has a little cushion with it. I will tell you this was very hard to pack and ship. But anyway, what do you think it sold for? I paid $3 for it at a garage sale. Sold for $21.99 plus shipping. You may have seen this recently in a video. Let's test your memory. It's a 1978 Inesco Japan alligator coffee cup. I paid $1.95 at the local Goodwill. How much do you think it sold for? Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. I found a basket of glass fruit at a local Salvation Army. I sold these two pieces, this lot of 2 grapes for how much? What do you think? They sold for $29.95 plus shipping. I paid only $11.95 for an entire basket full of glass fruit. This is a Corningware Spice of Life pattern casserole dish with the lid. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $24.99 plus shipping. You might have seen this recently too. A Canon new in box calculator. How much do you think it sold for? And by the way, I did pay $5.95 for it. It sold for $34.99 plus shipping. I found this vintage Japan frog planter at the Goodwill recently. I think I paid $3.99. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $24 plus shipping. This is another recent Goodwill find. The company is Andis Clipper Company. It's not a clipper, it's actually a massager or a vibrator. Definitely vintage as you see. I paid up for it at $8.95. How much do you think it sold for? It sold for $40 plus shipping. Ultimately, I'm encouraging you in this video to think about perceived value. Do your research, check your comps, okay? See what's out there, sold and active. And then be willing to put a price on it with make offer that might just bring you more profit. Isn't that what this is about? To me, reselling is not just a hobby. Reselling supplements our income. This isn't a game to me. Reselling isn't a hobby to me. Maybe for some it is. But if you're serious about reselling, then I encourage you to be serious about making the most that you can on items. Guilt-free. Don't feel guilty for making a profit. You have to find it, clean it, research it, photograph it, list it, pay store fees and listing fees and selling fees, and then you have boxes and packing material and time. You have so much time and effort and money taking things from finding it to getting it sold and shipped. I've said in past videos, I gave myself a raise. Give yourself a raise. Be willing to think about perceived value, put a price on it with make offer, and see what happens. If you like these kind of videos, I appreciate a thumbs up. I invite you to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to receive notifications. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue. I'll see you soon. Check out my other videos and subscribe. Simple sales for good profit.